Amachunapa, hand over heart. I pledge allegiance
You may be seated. Members, we're going to move to guest introductions. Assemblymember Addis, you are recognized for your guest introductions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today I'm pleased to welcome representatives from the California Polytechnic State University San Luis Obispo to the California State Assembly. Joining us on the Assembly floor is Cal Poly's President, Jeff Armstrong, and two students, Jack Bush, a Master's of Agricultural Education major from Salinas, and Ava Moylan, a Biological Sciences major from Morro Bay, who went to school with my child as well. And in the gallery, we have 22 additional students who have won individual and team awards, as well as 3 Associated Student Incorporated student leaders. We are here today to celebrate and recognize the amazing achievements of these exceptional Cal Poly students. The students present are among the best and the brightest at Cal Poly. They reflect the learn by doing education practiced by this excellent academic institution. And each student has distinguished themselves as an individual or on a team that has received a national industry award or in other high-profile events. For example, Jack and his team placed second at the National Growers Association Foundation Student Case Study Competition, and Ava received the 2024 American Ornithological Society Student Presentation Nellie Johnson Baruti Award for the best presentation on any topic in ornithology. The students in the gallery representing each of the 6 Cal Poly colleges all received similar recognition in their academic and extracurricular disciplines. And I would like to thank President Jeff Armstrong, his administration, the faculty of Cal Poly, and of course the families of all these students for educating such an amazing group that will go on to serve the Central Coast, California, and our nation's communities and economies. So please join me in giving them a warm welcome and a round of applause.
Welcome to the California Assembly. We're so proud and grateful of your work. Thank you. Members, we'll be moving on to business on the daily file. File item 1, House Resolution 8 by Assemblymember Fong. The clerk will read.
House Resolution 8 by Assemblymember Fong and others relative to the Lunar New Year.
Assemblymember Fong, you are recognized.
As chair of the California Asian American and Pacific Islander Legislative Caucus, I rise to present H.R. 8 and wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year. Gong hei fa choi. This year, Lunar New Year was on January 29th, with family, dinners, and community celebrations taking place over the next few weeks. To many Asian Americans in California, Lunar New Year is one of the most auspicious, important holidays of the year that includes long-standing cultural traditions welcoming luck and prosperity. The state of California was the first in the nation to recognize Lunar New Year as an official state holiday, with other states following suit. The lunar calendar rotates through 12-year cycles, with each year representing an animal from the zodiac, and through 60-year cycles, with each animal associated with one of the 5 elements. The 2025 Lunar New Year is the year of the wood snake, which symbolizes versatility, adaptability, growth, and creativity. Some notable individuals born in the year of the snake include John F. Kennedy, Bob Dylan, Stephen Hawking, Oprah Winfrey, and Taylor Swift. Nearly 6 million AAPIs reside in California, with 2.5 million celebrating the Lunar New Year holiday. By recognizing Lunar New Year, we show our commitment to celebrating the great cultural diversity of our state. I respectfully ask for an aye vote on H.R. 8 and wish everyone a joyous, healthy, and prosperous Year of the Snake. I ask that the first row be open for co-authors. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Fong. Assemblymember Ta, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support HR8 from the member from Alhambra, and I want to thank our member from Alhambra for introducing this resolution to honor and recognize Lunar New Year from the Asian community. And over the weekend in my district, we have a lot of events. We have the parade. We have the festival. We have celebration to recognize and honor the third, that is Vietnamese Lunar New Year. And I also want to thank our member from India, came all the way to my district to be with me and my family and my team in the parade. So this New Year is the year of the snake, and the celebration is occasion for the community to celebrate, to be in unity and continue to have hope for the future. So I hope that with the spirit of New Year, we continue to work together, we continue to more hope for Californians, and we're going to have a good year. Happy New Year. Chúc mừng năm mới.
Chúc mừng năm mới. Assemblymember Gonzalez, you are recognized.
Oops.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Latino Caucus, it is my pleasure to rise in support of H.R. 8, which recognizes and celebrates Wednesday, January 29, 2025, as the start of the Lunar New Year. California is the most populous and culturally diverse state in the country. It is home to more than 6 million Californians of AAPI descent. And as a representative for one of the most diverse districts in the state, I am proud to say Happy New Year, or Un Feliz y Próspero Año Nuevo, to all my AAPI sisters, brothers, and siblings. The contributions of the Asian and Pacific Islander American community are invaluable to our state. They have transcended barriers and have reshaped our communities for the better, from education to advocacy, art, sports, politics, and beyond. Lunar New Year is an annual celebration of good fortune, prosperity, and family. And in 2025, beginning of the year, the wood snake, which symbolizes wisdom, growth, and renewal. Those born as a snake are known for their intelligence, calm, and determination to achieve their goals. So let's embrace these traits in the new year in continuing to create a California for all. My district in the city of Los Angeles is home to several historically recognized Asian American communities, including Chinatown, Little Tokyo, Koreatown, Little Bangladesh, and historic Filipino town. Latinos also live in these communities where we live together, work together, eat together, attend school together, raise families together, caregivers together, share music together, and so much more. I'm a proud resident of Chinatown myself and can speak firsthand to our shared community and our shared values. Every year, I look forward to the Lunar New Year celebrations, including the Chinatown Firecracker Run and Golden Dragon Parade. In fact, on my community swearing in just a couple of weeks ago, we had the East Wind Foundation Lion Dancers and Hurong Youth Drummers. The Latino Caucus joins you in wishing good health, fortune, and prosperity to you and your families. Thank you to my colleague from Alhambra, and the entire AAPI Legislative Caucus for bringing this resolution forward. Happy New Year, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gonzalez. Assemblymember Lee, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today on behalf of the California Legislative LGBTQ Caucus and as a member of the AAPI Caucus in support of H.R. 8 in commemoration of Lunar New Year. The year of the wood snake represents growth and rebirth, reminding us to embrace new ideas and opportunities. The symbol of the snake, representing problem solving and skilled communication, inspires us to advocate for change and unity, and to champion the rights of AAPI and LGBTQ+ individuals. As we enter the new year, we honor icons like Alec Mapa, who was born in the year of the wood snake. He has been a trailblazer for Filipino representation, and his natural intuition, communication skills, and charisma embody the spirit of the snake. His profound contributions, particularly to the LGBTQ community, underscore the remarkable potential within us all to make transformative change. This celebration is a testament to the cultural traditions of the AAPI community brought to California, including those from LGBTQ backgrounds. And members, I want to wish everyone at San Lin Fai Lo and Gong Hei Fa Zoi. For those reasons, I hope you will vote for H.R. 8, 8 being a lucky number in our tradition. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Lee. Assemblymember Ahrens, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I rise on behalf of the California Legislative Jewish Caucus in support of H.R. 8 in celebration of Lunar New Year. As a caucus, we are proud to participate in the long-standing traditions and rich culture of our Asian and Pacific Islander colleagues and communities. Our Jewish community shares many traditions within the AAPI community in celebrating Lunar New Year, when many return home to reconnect with their families, to take comfort in good company, good fortune, and great food. For many in our community, the rituals and customs are also act as a yearly reminder of the important cultural values that should be brought into the next year. Unfortunately, our communities also face many of the same challenges, including an ongoing rise in hate. We recognize that Asian and Pacific Islander communities continue to face hardships as a result of hate-motivated violence. But we are deeply moved by the resilience and the courage of our Asian and Pacific Islander neighbors and families, and we are deeply grateful for the API colleagues and neighbors and allies who have shown unwavering support amidst recent challenges facing both of our communities. I am sure both of our communities look forward towards the symbols for this year of the wood snake, tolerance, and brightness, hoping that they may be found in abundance through this next year. And in that spirit, I rise on behalf of the Jewish Caucus in support of H.R. 8.
Thank you, Assemblymember Ahrens. Assemblymember Haney, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to thank my colleague from Los Angeles for bringing this resolution forward, and to the API Caucus for your leadership and for helping us celebrate the Lunar New Year this year. I want to wish everyone around the country, around our state, around the world who is celebrating the Lunar New Year a very happy New Year. Sunny Phai Lak, Gung Hei Fat Choi. I am very proud to represent a district and the city and county of San Francisco with my other colleague that is one of the oldest and largest API communities in our country. San Francisco had the first Chinese community in our state and holds the largest and oldest Chinatown outside of China in the world. It was established during 1848 during the California Gold Rush, and there are countless contributions that have been made from our residents of our city in Chinatown and beyond. We also are very proud to host the largest Lunar New Year parade in the country that attracts over 3 million visitors, spectators, and television viewers, with lion dances, vibrant floats, and a 288-foot golden dragon. I want to invite everybody to join us at that parade, which will be held this year on February 15th. The parade dates back to the 1860s, making it over 160 years old. It was originally created by Chinese immigrants who wanted to share their culture with the wider San Francisco community. This year we welcome the Year of the Snake, which symbolizes patience, love, and resilience. I'm very proud to represent Chinatown and the vibrant and thriving broader API community in San Francisco. This is a very special moment for the entire world, for everyone who celebrates, for our state, and for my city, which celebrates this with tremendous purpose, unity, and joy. And I want to thank my colleagues again for bringing this forward and recognizing this holiday. A happy Lunar New Year, Sunny Phai Lak, and I urge an aye vote on this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Haney. Assemblymember Caloza, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of H.R. 8 to support my colleague from Alhambra. I am a proud member of the Women's Caucus, of the AAPI Caucus, and also stand before you as the first Filipina elected to the state legislature. Really excited also to be supporting this resolution along with 5 other AAPI women in the state legislature, which is the most AAPI women we've ever had in our California state representation. My district, Assembly District 52, includes Northeast LA, East LA, and South Glendale, and has a robust Asian American community. My district has a big Chinese American community, a Filipino American community, and so there's so many countries and communities who celebrate this really important holiday. And so I rise in support of this and hope that my colleagues do so as well. So thank you so much and happy Lunar New Year.
Thank you, Assemblymember Caloza. Assemblymember Nguyen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise on behalf of the Legislative Women's Caucus and as a Vietnamese American. In the Vietnamese community, we consider Lunar New Year as Tết. And for the longest time, everybody referred to Lunar New Year as Chinese New Year. I myself, growing up, calling it Chinese New Year. And it wasn't until recently that we've all learned that it's called Lunar New Year. Because I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the Lunar New Year is celebrated by our Chinese American, our Vietnamese American, our Korean Americans, and our Minh community as well. And while you think of the New Year as just a day of celebration, I can tell you that I spent the days, nights preparing for this day, meaning I made sure the laundry was done, the dishes was done, vacuumed, mopped, the windows were cleaned. It is one of these days where we spend hours, days, up until 11:59 to ensure that the house is super clean. Because a clean house is going to reference the home for the rest of the year. It references the entire life. If your home is messy, your life will be messy. As we think about the snake this year, a snake sheds, and they get rid of that skin, and they start the new year. And so what's going to happen, or what did happen, as we think about the wood snake, is that let's be like a snake, shed the skin of 2024, and welcome 2025. I ask for your aye vote, H.R. 8, lucky number 8. And chúc mừng năm mới.
Thank you, Assemblymember Nguyen. Assemblymember Gibson, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to thank my brother from the Los Angeles area, Alhambra. Thank you very much for bringing this HR before us today. I rise on behalf of the Legislative Black Caucus, and I was looking at my notes, and mostly everyone on this floor has already captured what my notes reflected, so I won't bore you. I simply say that, a fun fact, which means that in a number of countries, the Asian country includes China, Vietnam, South Korea, Singapore, Japan, Thailand. And so just like the Legislative Black Caucus, certainly the API caucus have seen so much discrimination over years. But we stand in solidarity to uplift as brothers and sisters in this Lunar New Year celebration. And we want to thank you for the beautiful gifts. I know that someone's going to mention it at some point in time. But I want to say thank you very much, because we can reach across the aisle and find common good. And we celebrate the year of the snake with each and every one of you. And I want to thank my sister from Sacramento for sharing about the shedding of the skin, because I think that we need to shed skin and start anew. And it represents a freshness. It represents a brand new start. It gives us an opportunity to pause. So thank you very much for the education. I respectfully ask for an aye vote on H.R. 8.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gibson. Assemblymember Kalra, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank our API caucus chair for bringing H.R. 8 forward to celebrate Lunar New Year, which is, of course, because of the work of this body, now an official, considered an official state holiday. And representing San Jose, certainly want to extend my wishes to our vibrant community that's celebrating, including our Chinese, Korean, and of course, our Vietnamese community. Many folks don't know that in San Jose there was a Chinatown, actually several of them dating back to the 19th century, they were repeatedly burned down because of racism and xenophobia, and the resilience of the community continued to rebuild. And of course, we know that San Jose, being the city that has the largest Vietnamese community of any single city outside of Vietnam, is an example of resilience and an example of rebuilding one's lives in a new country. We have the historic fact that we at the same time have two Vietnamese Americans that are representing this body. which is, I think, a great sign of how strong the Vietnamese community has been in becoming a fabric of not just this country, but I can tell you in San Jose, the Vietnamese community is inseparable from our city and our community. And as was mentioned by our colleague from Orange County and by our colleague from here in the Sacramento area, there are many celebrations. I've been to already 3 or 4 Tet celebrations. We'll have a few more to go over the next couple weeks, as well as celebrations within our Chinese, Korean, and other communities. And I think, you know, when I think back when I first came to this country, to San Jose in 1978, we had many thousands of refugees that left their war-torn home and came to San Jose and so many other communities. Many times welcomed, many times they were not. But we know that they were escaping horrors. They were escaping their loss of freedom to come to a place that accepted them. And for many years and decades later, we still have folks from Southeast Asia coming and seeking asylum here. And I think that we need to remember that this country has always been that beacon of hope that has accepted immigrants. Even before there was a thing called papers, we accepted immigrants from all over the world, and especially our Asian American brothers and sisters who are celebrating Lunar New Year that brings so much culture to our community. And so I want to thank the member from Alhambra for bringing this forward. I want to wish all of my community and all Californians a happy Lunar New Year. Xingning Kuai La, Sehe Bok Mani Badiseo, and of course, Chikmang Namai. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Kalra. Seeing and hearing no further debate, Assemblymember Fong, you may close.
Thank you so much to the members from Los Angeles, Westminster, San Jose, San Francisco, Sunnyvale, San Jose, Sacramento, Carson, and all the Diversity Caucus for uplifting H.R. 8. Really appreciate that, and I ask the first row be open for co-authors. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Fong. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll for co-authors. Members, this vote is for co-authors. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. There are 72 co-authors added. Excuse me, clerk will close the roll. There are 72 co-authors added. Without objection, we'll now take a voice vote on the resolution. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Senate Bill 2 by Assemblymember Gabriel, the clerk will read.
Senate Bill 2 by Senator Weiner and others, and relating to the state budget and making an appropriation therefore to take effect immediately. Budget bill.
Assemblymember Gabriel, you may open.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to present SB 2, a bill that increases funding for legal aid services by $25 million in the current year. These programs serve some of the most vulnerable people in California, including undocumented families, veterans, people with disabilities, homeless youth, seniors, members of the LGBTQ+ community, victims of domestic violence, wage theft, and human trafficking, people facing evictions, military families, and more. This funding also will provide vulnerable Californians the information and resources they need to protect important legal and constitutional rights. That is why the state has invested in these programs for years. They have traditionally enjoyed bipartisan support and are important priorities for the state bar, the Judicial Council, and our judicial branch of government, which help to oversee them. For example, the One California program that will be funded here was established in 2015, prior to the first Trump administration. These are not new programs, and they deserve our support. Colleagues, we know that many of our most vulnerable communities are feeling deeply threatened in this moment, and we must stand with them. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on SB 2.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gabriel. Assemblymember DeMaio, you are recognized.